Hello, welcome to yet another video on the internet. So over the last few weeks, people online have been participating in this thing called the 10-year challenge. Basically, you post two pictures of yourself, one from now and one from 10 years ago, to sort of highlight a difference, or in Terry Crews's case, an inability to age. I mean, really, just look at the man. I mean, seriously. I found this whole thing pretty entertaining, and having recently just turned 22 myself, I thought it'd be kind of fun to go on a deep dive into the past just to see how much I've changed as a person. And what better way for me to find an account of my past than to look back at the very beginning days of my Facebook page. So today we're gonna go back and see the thoughts and muses of a 12-year-old version of me. I haven't done a thorough dive like this in 2 or 3 years, so hopefully this should be pretty fun. All right, let's get started. Here we are with my very first post on Facebook ever. It just says, is on Facebook. Also, just for context sake, this is what I looked like when I posted that status. Just, aren't I cute? Although I don't know why I'm holding the camera at that angle, it just kind of looks like I'm trying to put something on a really tall shelf. The next post we've got actually comes a whole 3 months after the last one, which makes sense because I still had my head thoroughly up MySpace's ass at the time. The status reads, my new Facebook page, if you know me, add me. As you can see by the lack of interaction that this post has, it does not seem like it was very productive. The next few things that I see are pages that I've liked. Joe likes Drake. I like this one because although I have become quite a big fan of Drake, at the time I knew him for one song and one song only, and I only knew that one song because it had Eminem on it. So really, I think I just liked pages of things that I knew existed up to that point. For example, this next one, Joe likes flirting. Ironic because at that time, nothing could have been further from the truth. I'll give this next one, Joe likes God. This one makes me laugh because, genuinely, no joke, the next status I posted after this was, why does God hate me? I have absolutely no idea what cataclysmic event happened to my 12-year-old self at the time, but I'm sure whatever it is, it was definitely something that warranted me sharing all of my feelings over Facebook. As I'm scrolling through my activity feed, I'm realizing I shared a lot more things from Farmville than I'm proud of. And genuinely, I mean like a lot of Farmville. Oh, here's another one. Can't wait for January when I can get my driver's permit, smiley face. I personally find a lot of humor in the power of hindsight because you see, this post was made on October 19th, 2010, which is ironic because it would be yet another 5 years before I even got behind the wheel of a motor vehicle, let alone got my driver's permit. But hey, I guess that just goes to show, don't set your expectations too high, but also don't set them too low. I don't know, there's like sort of like a gray area in there, and that's where I like to live my life. Oh Christ. Okay, next is actually a post a friend of mine left on my wall, and it reads, I watched some of your videos on YouTube, which nowadays I would take that as a huge compliment. It's kind of haunting because this was posted in November of 2010, and back then my content looked, well, like this.
Water. Earth. Fire.
Well, it's safe to say pride is not the word I'm looking for. Next post is from January 2011, so I've now had my Facebook post a little over a year at this point, and it reads, chillin' in the corner. Surprisingly, being alone is okay. It was just about a year after I made that post that I would first start having encounters with would later be identified as clinical depression. I doubt that version of me would agree so heavily with this status. Wow, I thought it would be inevitable. All I know is I'm never eating Taco Bell 2 days in a row. Now before we continue, I just want to set the record straight that I have, for sure, at some point after this status, eaten Taco Bell 2 days in a row. And my only regret is that it stopped at 2 days in a row. Honestly, I've just got this really weird affection for Taco Bell that I just has no explanation whatsoever. Ooh, here's a hot take expressed by a now 14-year-old Joe. It's official, In the End by Linkin Park is the best song ever. Well, I guess that's it then. We have peaked as a music-producing society in the year 2001. It's funny that the Twilight trend pretty much died down before the series of movies even ended. I don't really have a witty quip here. I wholeheartedly agree with that post. It is pretty funny. The one thing I will say, though, is that XD has officially taken 1 year off my life, so RIP. Now, I think the only appropriate way for me to finish this dive is to look at a post from September 2011, and it so eloquently says, "I have a panda bear physique." Well, it's nice to know that some things don't change in 10 years. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and subscribe. I post videos on this channel sometimes. And remember, if you can't cringe at yourself, who can you cringe at? The answer is me. Here's a picture of me wearing a fedora, unironically, and I was proud. So I'll just leave you with that.